How are you, sister?
Mm. I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great.
Actually, I feel quite emotional.
Hmm.
I had a vision. Message and vision.
Say once more.
I had a vision
Hmm. Now?
during us being them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. It was about our writings.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
I have time to tell you.
If we have time to, so that you say, yeah, we have 9 minutes, over 9 minutes.
Okay. You want me to tell you? Or?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay, well, what I saw was I saw
Mm-hmm.
my writings building a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And there were people going across the bridge, and where they were going to was you with your writings. And not all of them were making it. It was like there was some people that were falling off the end of the bridge before they got to you. But it was about authenticity. It was about
Mm-hmm.
not being able to cross the bridge without being authentic somehow. Something to do with authenticity.
Thank you so much. Mm-hmm.
And then I saw writing in water.
Mm-hmm.
And like if somebody had written in water with ink and it was kind of um, sort of blurring and moving and floating within the water. Yeah. How do you receive this, sister?
Well, with goosebumps. The moment you talked about authenticity, I was in goosebumps. Very happy with your
Mm.
vision. Very happy to receive your vision. I wonder
Yeah.
what kind of writings do you mean? Do you mean different writings of yours? Do you mean something specific? Do you see yourself writing?
No, I just saw the writing, and as I was writing, it was building a bridge.
Uh-huh.
And actually, there's a third something after your writing, there's a third something we write together. It's a co-creation of some form.
Ah.
I don't know. I don't know more than that. That's when I started seeing the water letters forming within the water. And not English letters,
Mm.
kind of more like light language letters, maybe.
I've been actually doing much of the what I call language of source letters, but it's languages of source because it's different languages and different expressions. But I've been writing a lot. Um, Something which looks very different each time and at the same time very similar. Just wait a moment. I'm looking for a sample. I don't know if I find now one. Yeah, but I find one now.
There was much joy within all of this too.
It's very joyful. It's
Yes.
very joyful and it's very free. It's very spacious, and it usually begins with different from different places. It doesn't begin the way we are used to write.
Yeah.
So I've been writing much of this, but it's kind of
Wow.
it's the yeah. This is one of this. This is one of the samples. Um, and this is very freedoming to me. This is very freedoming and very supportive um, in being here. And actually, I find this just like us being and being one of the things which make sense for me.
And it's beautiful. I felt quite emotional looking at that. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Thank you. Yeah, I have lots of other pages. Some of them throughout the years, I threw away.
Beautiful.
And many of them I keep. Many of them I keep.
Well, interesting. I have been drawing a symbol a lot in this last year, a particular symbol that kind of comes across and down. It's a downward, like writing downwards. And it seems to be in all of those kind of things, what you're doing, it seems to this symbol continually comes through. And a friend of mine, Diane, she sent me a pic. She says, "Why do you always draw that? I see that you've drawn that a lot." And I said, "I don't know." And she said, It's codes of some form." And I said, "Yes." And then she sent me an image of a lady she follows on Facebook who has drawn almost the identical symbol. And so I started looking at some of that lady's work, and I feel very connected to her writings and her pictures. She does light language coded pictures and stuff. And I did message her about it, but she didn't get back to me. I messaged her about the similarity between this symbols that, but she has not responded. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? What comes out of us.
Yeah, yeah. It's sometimes also I have a similar when I dance. I have a similar impression because when I do these writings, sometimes the freedom of speed, which is revealing or which is about to reveal, is so much faster than me, and at the same time it is within me. And with the dancing, sometimes when I am within the now of flowing, there is the dynamics, and also it's also speed related, but speed in the sense of freedom, but also speed in the sense of fast, you know, how fast. But it's a very specific it's a very specific purpose. It's very different purpose of being fast, of this being fast, of this being speedy,
Mm.
than anything I associate from this world in relation to, for example, winning a race. It's a very
Mm.
different speed, it's a very different purpose of speed. And the speed is very free and at the same time very empowering and very freedoming. And
Mm.
so, as if my hand was wanting to be faster than me, so that it also requires me somehow to coordinate.
Yeah. And to surrender to it.
Yeah.
I find when I do these things, I have to surrender to it, because as soon as I kind of think about it too much, I start controlling my hand, or I start controlling my movement instead of allowing it. And yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I understand what you mean about the speed. It's almost like the speed doesn't have, it's not like in human terms, the speed's about doing something or achieving an outcome faster or
Yeah.
something, but it's not really, it's more about the beingness within the speed. Is that right?
Yeah. It is the speed of beingness, actually. It is a speed
Mm.
of being. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm. When I
Mm.
was doing Dance by My Grave, I kind of, but this, I wrote a letter. I wrote a letter into this world. Hi, Chira.
Hi.
Hi, nice to see you. When I was doing Dance by My Grave, I wrote a letter into this world. So
Mhm.
I, and then like finally, I didn't make a, I didn't include this material, didn't I? I guess no, I didn't include the material into Dance by My Grave, but um, I registered myself with the camera. I went into some kind of circle of bushes in Frankfurt, where I was living in some kind of a small park. And then in
Mhm.
the very center of the center, I put out the papers and I wrote this letter. And then
Wow.
I filmed these pages, and then I kind of um, I wrote this letter, and it has a kind of a dark pink ribbon all around it. When we meet, I show it to you, and then we read.
Beautiful. I'm guessing you wrote it in Polish, did you?
I wrote it in this very language.
Oh, you wrote it in this language.
Yes,
Yes,
I
cool.
wrote it in this very language. Yeah, yeah. And
Cool.
I do have
Oh,
these materials somewhere. So because I'm now coming back into the materials already created, recreating. So I may find a way into them as we are now
I love that.
back.
And so did you write from left to right or right to left, or it's all over it's no, there's no particular order?
There are like, I don't remember how I wrote this one, but it's there for sure. Registered with the video, so I will know how I wrote it. But these days, I very often write. When I write with my right hand, I write from the right, and then when I write with the left, I write from the left. And then,
Cool.
but I also jump. I also move through the page from the from the bottom, from the center, from different points.
Mm.
And also I kind of I I move more a paper, I guess. I guess have also been moving around the paper myself.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of these practices. It's one of these practices, sister. Uh-huh.
I love.
Uh-huh.
Well, I was really intrigued to find out because it turns out that these symbols or this writing I've been doing for years and years and didn't realize that it was any. I just thought I was doodling, when you like
Yeah.
think that you're just kind of scribbling and there's no real anything to it. Um, and then I see sometimes when I go through things and I find the odd page where I've written something and there'll be some scribbles or doodles and this same symbol will come up or there'll be similar kind of stuff. And it wasn't until back then I didn't even understand or know anything about light language or anything to do with any of this new languages that are coming through or what's happening. I didn't understand any of that, but it was interesting for me to realize from now that in hindsight aspect of I've been doing this stuff for a long time and didn't even realize it. But yeah, it is. It's very freeing.
And this symbol that you mentioned, can you talk about this symbol a bit?
I'll have to draw it for you. I'll see if I can. I'll do one. I've got one at home. I put one on my wall that I did at Diane's. And we had that light language retreat that we held, and we got people to write, and different people were writing and drawing. So after there was a lot of vocalizing and sounding, and it turns out that I've discovered that I move a lot. So I've got a lot of not just sound but movement. That's kind of harmonic-y singing with movement, and then this symbol is kind of what I was drawing, and there was some other people were doing different drawings and circular things and kind of all sorts of different stuff, and some of them were quite beautiful, and some of them looked like they had a sound, and some of them actually Diane would say, "Is there a sound to it?" And people would try and make a sound that kind of came from it, or they'd say, "I don't know," and they'd hold it up, and somebody else would say a sound. So it was like everybody was kind of in this kind of energetic kind of helping each other kind of activate stuff or feeling, interpreting some of the messages and the coding within it. And yeah, it was really beautiful, collaborative kind of a gathering. But what came out of me was the same symbol. I didn't actually, I just had the thing was, is I did, this time I kind of drew it upside down as well. I moved it around the page and I remember kind of, um, questioning which way up it went, sort of. Yeah, or if there was a way up. But yeah, I'll draw it for you. I don't have pen and paper handy right now, but I'll show you next time
Mm.
I can, or I'll take a photo and send you.
And do you have any impressions what this symbol is about, where it is from, or
No,
why?
no, not really. I mean, the last time when I did that and I was turning it around and that, I have got some, I did write some things near it, but it was mostly stuff. It was only, I think the only words I come up was stuff to do with she. It was all about, just she is, I think is what I wrote near it. But I can't, I don't feel like there's any recognition to me of a name or a place or a title or something that would,
And how does it feel? How does it feel when you see it, or when you create it? How does it feel to you?
um, it just is. I don't know. It just kind of just comes out of me. There's,
Yeah.
I can't remember a particular feeling. It
Mm.
just sort of pours out of me. But yeah, well, how do you feel when you draw these ones? Are you
I
feeling?
feel free. I feel free.
Mm,
I feel free. I feel that it helps me to be within this density. Um,
mm,
it helps me to continue moving, and from that, because from uh, as if it was kind of opening a pathway, because the density surrounding feels so dense. It feels like a pathway opening for the motion, which is in a way trapped, in a way immobilized, and is finding a pathway through this.
That's great. It's beautiful.
It feels very light. It feels very, very light and very spacious and freedoming. And when I go on for several minutes, it feels like it feels like it's waking up the whole system.
Awesome. And do you start with that? Because I find that I already get, when I start writing or doing these things recently, it's more when I'm already I'm already feeling like I'm in an elevated state. I'm already feeling that connective, expansive kind of freedoming sort of a state, and that's when it happens of late. But I will pay attention when I do it to see, to let you know how I feel. But are you saying that it brings you more into that state doing it, rather than once you're kind of more in that state, then it sort of flows out of you?
I guess it's whenever I decide, but I guess from the what I mean now is that it creates a pathway through density. So and I associate it with supporting myself through the difficulty.
Yeah.
So as if it was giving me an access into more freedom.
Okay, cool.
And
That inspires.
so whenever it's difficult, I mean, well,
That inspires to do
when
more of
I
it,
am
actually.
already when I am freedom, I may do it, but then probably I would choose to dance.
I
Whatever,
was just,
whatever. I mean, whatever. But
yeah,
when
I
I'm
was
in
just
trouble,
about to say,
but when I'm in trouble, when I,
yes, I hear you.
like,
No,
so it's about,
yeah,
one more thing I want to tell you is that mostly I choose big papers. I bigger papers than normal papers. I do
yeah,
have these tiny notebooks or different sizes, but I very much like to have bigger papers.
yeah. I
Not
hear
a,
you.
not
Me
a
too.
notebook, not a normal
So
notebook.
you can have the freedom, of-
Yeah.
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 Although I find that when I write anyway, but yeah.
What?
I was just gonna say, actually, like the dancing and there's other things that bring me, that I feel that same kind of what you're explaining about the pathway through the density and kind of bonding and the dancing and the breathing in that, and also your what I've learnt from you relative to the coming back home within with the movement, like that really helps me as well.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening. I've just made some mess here, and found another from the 11th.
Wait, show me that one again.
Wait. Where is the date? Somewhere are the date. Somewhere I put the date. Somewhere I don't. Oh, this is the one. Oh, 11/11/11/11/00/11.
Awesome. Let me see that one.
I didn't understand
Underneath pictures, points. That page again.
the page again.
That 1111 page.
Yeah, it's a bit wet
Yeah,
because
I didn't took it away too quick.
yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sister.
Cool. Thank you, sister. Love.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting times, isn't it? All these things appearing and happening, occurring, awakening, remembering.